Yeah, Daddy had his pride. Lots of it, and very little money.
Yes. If I may continue, Mr. Starkweather's fortune is now worth in the neighborhood of $50 billion.
Dadgum, if I'd have known that, I'd have asked for a raise.
I won't go into the details of the will, but it essentially bequeaths $1 million to each of his household staff. They are to Bensonhurst, his butler, to Miss Withers, his nurse, to Minerva Walker, his cook,
Jesus.
to Nancy Fowler, his maid, to Mrs. Trent, his housekeeper, and to Rufus Jones, his handyman.
Yeah! Forget the raise!
Oh, Mr. Starkweather, I had no idea.
The rest of the money is to be divided equally among his surviving relatives. They are his grandson, Simon III, his niece, Fiona Starkweather, and her son, Jordan, who will share their 1/3, and to his great-niece, Paula Thompson.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I always knew you'd do the right thing, Uncle.
Oh, great Uncle Simon. I know you got mad when Mom married a Southern boy, but you two must have agreed on one thing. Blood is thicker than water.
Well, I'll bet you Miss Withers can tell you if it is.
Now that I've informed you of the will's contents, I have one more announcement to make. As of tomorrow, this will becomes invalid.
Hang on. What does invalid mean?
It means no good.
Huh. Funny. I got me a brother that's invalid.
Miss Manzant means we're not going to get any of the money, you fool.
Oh. Guess I won't be buying that big screen TV. I'll see about after that.
Sid, have you told us.
Why did you decide to disinherit us, Uncle?
Well, find a better use for my money, that's why. Oh, I didn't cut you entirely. All of you in Oldville will get $50,000 each.
50,000? Out of 50 billion?
Well, Lois here advised me it would be a good idea to leave a little something. That way you're less likely to be able to contest my new will.
New will.
Yes, that's right. Kathy is staying over at Starkweather Mission this afternoon to type in nice and legal for my signature. And Mr. Davis, as a disinterested party, can witness my signing, and Lois will file at the courthouse coming Monday.
Mr. Davis said he's a detective. Well, what did you hire him to do?
Mr. Davis?
Mr. Starkweather hired me to conduct an investigation on the quiet. Over the last 6 months, I've flown to a dozen or more foreign countries researching some of the world's most brilliant scientists. Some who are pretty well known and others who prefer to keep their activities hush-hush. I succeeded in finding one in Belgium. We'll call him Dr. X, who has agreed to do what Mr. Starkweather desires, which is to clone himself.
Clone? That's insane!
Nonsense. You must be kidding.
It's immoral.
I don't understand.
Good. Glad I ain't the only one.
Those blooded skin samples you had me prepare. The ones you said were being examined by specialists?
Well, they were sent to the specialist in DNA.
But I thought you were trying to find a cure.
I was. Not a cure for my ailments, but cure for dying. And I did find it.
Cloning?
Precisely. Through modern science, I shall live forever.
It's not right.
Sit down.
That's neither here nor there. Let the moralists and politicians debate that question for decades to come. In the meantime, Dr. X will be creating brand new me. Sit down, Withers. Sit. A lot of you seems displeased, not, I suspect, because of the moral question, but because of change in your fortune. Too bad. Clothing is very expensive, especially since the process required must be done in complete secrecy. But I'll still have sizable fortune for the new Mith to inherit. Though I'll be the first person on earth to become my own heir. My blueprint.
Oh. Yes, Mr. Starkweather. If you'll excuse us, I need to take Mr. Starkweather's blood pressure.
Why don't you take it right here?
Mr. Starkweather's arms are too frail for me to get a reading from them. This is an outsized cuff, made to go around a patient's thigh. He can stand the pressure better there. Furthermore, he has had quite enough excitement for one evening. I should put him to bed.
Well, I guess our meeting is concluded unless anyone has further questions.
I do! What the heck was that all about?
It's simple, Rufus. Great Uncle Simon was going to leave us with a fortune, but he decided to clone himself.
Well, what does clone mean?
It means to take some cells from a person's body and use them to make a duplicate of the original.
They can do that? That's great. You gotta give me a job working for the new Mr. Starkweather.
No, the new Mrs. Starkweather will have to be born and grown up again. It goes against the laws of nature.
How could you? The process has already been arranged. Once Dr. X has created the new life, the cells will be implanted into the host mother, who will carry the child to term.
House mother? Who? Me.
Like, look.
And why not? I'm young and healthy. I'll be the perfect mother for little Simon.
How could you consider being part of this travesty?
Yeah, I'll be well compensated. Besides, have you ever known anyone else to give birth to a baby billionaire?
Uncle Simon is giving his money to a baby?
In a matter of speaking, yes. The new will places Mr. Starkweather's money into a trust fund, which I'll administer. I'll release the money to Dr. X and his staff to perform the cloning. After that, ample funds will be given to Kathy and for the child's upbringing and education. Once he's grown and trained in the areas of high finance, the fortune will be handed over to him.
The kid will look, think, and act like Simon Starkweather. It's possible that by the time he's grown up, he can make those billions into trillions.
But for what purpose? To leave it to another clone, then another, and another? When will it end? When there's a Mrs. Starkweather with enough money and power to rule the world?
We didn't discuss it, but you might well be right.
I can't believe you condone such madness.
Oh, I can see why she would. Miss Van Zandt and the Collins girl will live like billionaires themselves off of Mr. Starkweather's money. Money that should have gone to us and his family. I suppose you'll get rich too, since you're a part of this scheme.
Hey, not me. I did the job I was paid to do. I'm gonna take my very generous check and go home if you don't mind. Frankly, I don't care if the boss's science fiction project works or not.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You should all be ashamed of yourself. And if you plan to...
Ladies, I believe you've made your feelings quite clear. If you and the other servants will join me, I wish to speak to you all in the kitchen. We'll clear after you're finished. I assume you'll ring if you require anything else?
Well, you know what? Might be kind of nice hearing the pitter-patter for you around this here house.
Oh, shut up.
Kathy and I will retire to that room. You might as well begin typing up the new will. I'll teach you how to put it in the proper legal terms.
Sure, Lois. The sooner it's finished and signed, the better. Hey, wait a minute. How come nobody asked me if I wanted to carry the baby? I can do it just as well as she can.
Your blood kin, Paula. It wouldn't be proper.
Oh, I guess that would be kind of tacky.
Proper? You're about to conduct an experiment that makes Frankenstein look like an amateur, and you're worried about being proper?
Hey, cool it, kid, before you burst a blood vessel. Mr. Starkweather's made up his mind, and I have a feeling that what he wants he's going to end up getting.
Succinctly put, Mr. Davis. Kathy.
Hey, I'm going to go pack. Once I witness the signing of the will tomorrow, I won't have any reason to hang around.
Night.
We were robbed.
We what?
Yes, Mother. Great Uncle Simon dangled a fortune in front of our noses, then snatched it away.
That was mean.
Mean? The man's a monster. You saw the evil glint in his eye when he enjoyed pulling a rug right from under our feet.
Well, at least he's leaving us 50,000.
To him, that's no more than tossing a dime to a beggar. And he's only doing that to keep us from going against his new will. You heard him.
Yeah?
I wish he were dead. I wish the old goat would die tonight.
Serve him right.
If Uncle Simon did die tonight, then we'd all get our money. Wouldn't we, my dears? Would anyone care for a game of bridge?
You to call me by my first name.
Well, you mustn't suggest such a thing. It's wicked.
And why should that surprise you? Everyone knows I'm the black sheep in the family. If he died tonight, you'd have $1 million, and I'd have billions. Think of the good times we could have together.
Don't!
It's a tempting thought, though, admit it.
It's not. It's a horrible idea.
Which part? Getting the money or you and me? Well, what about us?
What? Nancy, what are you doing in here? I thought you were going to help me with the dishes.
I was just checking the fridge doors when there were about 2 wishes are locked.
I see. And what are you doing in here?
Came down for a little chat. Decided to stop by and ask Nancy how she was doing.
You know that appetite of yours is going to get you in trouble one of these days.
Minerva, what are you doing with that knife?
Mincing onions.
At midnight?
I can't stand to have anyone see me cry. I thought I heard someone in here, so I came in to check. If you're hungry, follow me. I'll find you something.
Yes, Minerva. Anything you say, Minerva.
You finish checking and then come give me a hand.
We met them.
Well, come on, Jordan.
Someone come in.
Yep, you just me.
So I see. Good grief, man, what are you doing with that axe?
Well, it's like this. I remember chopping wood for the fire this afternoon before it started raining to get her done. Well, when I left outside, so I figured I'd better bring it inside and dry it off so it don't rust.
Yes, but why did you bring it into the living room?